10th of November. Good evening, everybody. Let's see what the first card is. Ah, a winner, the star. So this is the highlight of this week. This one is asking you to think like a winner, to look at and not so much the positive, but the possibility, the potential of the situation. So even when something goes wrong, um, yeah, it's like, what do I need to learn from this? I've lived by that all my life, thank goodness, because it really did keep me away from why me, because why me questions will always keep you stuck. And this one about letting go, this is a perfect time of year to be doing that, is to letting go. Now, I just did something and I love doing this. So I just tuned into a client sent me a message and this is for Donna. And I just did this very quickly before I came on. And it's an aura picture of what's happening for Donna. So this is a lot of love here, a lot of love, and now it's coming into her mind. The intellect is still there because sometimes we can lose our heart, but this is a higher kind of vibration. It's more a purpley color, and you can perhaps see this pale pink going across the body. So this is where it gives you tingles and it makes you feel good. So as I say, this was done very quickly. And this is either thinking of a holiday on water, a cruise maybe, having a picnic near the water. But this is going to be something that's going to give this sense of freedom, maybe in this relationship. So um, if you're here, Donna, terrific. If you catch me on the replay, if you want to leave us a comment, that would be fantastic. But that's a very nice aura chart. Thought I would do something a little bit different there. So, and of course, this is when we go into new relationships, it's really important that we make sure that we finish with the one before, and the one before that, and the one before that, depending on how old you are, the one before that, that, and that, so that you don't have all these different lenses on, that they may do something like the previous X and then you get triggered. So you need to, where you can, look at those areas, sort them out, reframe them. What did you learn, rather than carrying the angst? And I wonder if this will happen. You have to know that if it does happen, how will you deal with it? Not that you'll get upset, but will you say something? Will you discuss it? What will happen? So we're going through a time now. It seems to be gathering momentum about things that we're going to be able to do and not be able to do without all this ID. It's getting very strong now. What we can do. I've just been reading comments on particularly for people who are vegetarian, vegans. They're finding it very difficult to find various foods. They seem to be coming off the shelves. So there's a lot of questions going on. Whereas, blissfully many, many years ago, um, life was fairly normal, fairly steady. But it's pretty much not like that. So it's really important that you find your groove, you find your line, your lane. And it still means you look out for everybody else, but it seems to be really important now that you sort out who you are, who you're becoming, where you want to be in the future, and make sure you take steps to get to that place. And community is very important. I like to feel that we are a community when people come on and they either join in while it's live, or they leave a comment later, or they private message me. Thank you to those people. And with all the views, I think it's really important that we also do this, that we hug each other. Um, Hugging to me is very important. Particularly, I just feel that we often have long times between those. If you're in a family, maybe not so much, but as you get older and you get busier and kids leave home, maybe you didn't have kids, maybe you are on your own. Touch and caring is very important. So we'll do one more in this pack, and then we'll move on to another pack. And this is talking about love. And this is going to be, and always has been, very important in everybody's life. And if it can be with a significant other, that's great. But just love generally. I heard, I caught just a few words today, and it was so early. I'm trying to remember what it was about, but it was about Christmas being celebrated in a country that doesn't particularly celebrate Christmas, and was a talk in the church how they were going to deal with it. And the pastor in that particular church said, I believe it's about love and getting together and caring about each other. So I'm all for it. I thought that was just beautiful. Kicked off my day beautifully, taking some of the labels off so that we're not so confined to this narrow way of perceiving something, but what does it mean? And I thought that was really beautiful. Okay, so on to another deck of cards now. Where's my fave ones? Let me deal from here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, okay, what's fallen out of this one? Visualization. This is super duper important, because it helps you to put, you know, that lens on for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year. What is it that you are aiming for? And there will be things that you can do, and there will be things that, will be left to chance. We can't control all of it. But I am a great believer that once you start the ball rolling, opportunities can come. Now, it may come to stop you. You may have made your mind up, you want this, and maybe something will stop you. Now, there's two trains of thought. One will say, ah, yeah, you'll get challenged whether you want it or not. I agree on that. But you'll also get delayed or challenged because maybe there's something better coming. And if you just keep, your eyes so focused without glancing, it's a bit like, being on a train and you never look out the window. You don't get the full picture of where it is that you're going. So I feel with visualization, it's not just hoping for something. It's when The Secret came out many years ago. I thought it was very good and it captured a lot of people. It just left one element out for me, or one major. There's a few things missing, but the biggest one I felt was doing some work towards your goal, not just visualizing it, but actually living that way, taking steps, acting that way, socializing that way, making yourself feel as though this life is part of your life right now. So that's what I feel that card means. Let's go on to here. I have the tea leaves ready, so let's see what's happening with those. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards that have fallen out together here. And this one is about wisdom. And I always feel that, that we have knowledge, and as soon as we begin to implement it, then it can turn into wisdom. Because we can know a lot, but if we don't do anything with it, well, then it's just knowledge. But as soon as you start to utilize it, get the feel of it, what works, what doesn't work, what is true for you, that's when it becomes your wisdom, which is what I feel that this card is. So never negate what it is that you feel, what you feel is right for you, because you've come to planet Earth. There's what, about 8 billion? I don't even know what that number is. I couldn't even begin to imagine that number. But there isn't one of us, not one, that has the same fingerprints. And so that's how different we are. And therefore, even though a lot of our feelings can have that commonality, a lot of our grief can have that commonality, a lot of things that happen to you perhaps have happened to me, but it's that individual way that we react to it, deal with it. And maybe there's a different level of what's happened to you compared to what's happened to me, or vice versa. And our wisdom at the end of the day will be similar. And that's where, we feel as though we can really find our tribe. I always wanted Elizabeth Gilbert. Hi, Sharon. Elizabeth Gilbert and Brené Brown to have a talk together because I felt Gilbert was wild and free and just living in the moment and taking chances and seeing how life was going to work out. And Brené Brown is really driven and she takes long pauses when she answers. But I was fascinated when they finally did get together, which was a few years ago. Their answers were almost the same as to how to live life, but they came from very different avenues. I think it's a little bit like that with everybody's opinion. We're all trying to be happy. We're all trying to do the best we can. But gosh, sometimes we look at people and we go, whoa, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, they're trying to do it their way, and it may not be ours. So the biggest thing that we can do is accept that someone's behaving that way. I'm not saying the behavior is acceptable, but that we need to acknowledge if that person is the way they are, then that's what you're dealing with. Don't try to think that they're going to be any different. Okay, so the next card is of service, to be of service. And of course, we're coming to that time of year where not everybody belongs in a family. There are many people on their own, perhaps in hospital, no visitors, maybe in nursing homes, no visitors. And this is a time if you can just be a little extra kind in your busy day, the smile, the chat. It may be the only smile or comment or hello they may get that day. So we are an aging population. We're not aging so that we're stupid, we're just getting older. So let's make sure that we're being kind to those around us. Very, very important. So let me see what we've got here. We're going to go to the surrender cards. Is there anything that we need to look at as far as the surrender cards are? And I started off with a little aura reading for one of the regulars, and I just sort of show it again. So when people do the replay, they'll hear the meaning of that. Okay, so let me see what I've got here. Um, Now, this is interesting. I'm going to read this before I show it to you. Cultivate gratitude and be a service to others. So here's a completely different pack. So the service one is this pack, and I'm now reading from this pack. Come from your heart, which I think is really good. I always feel now we need some extra sentences with some of these. So come from your heart, be kind, generous, and have your boundary because some people will want more than what you can give, or they'll make you feel guilty because they didn't feel that they got enough. So know what you're prepared to do and give and be, and know that that's your contribution from you. Because often there are people that can get a little bit more from the next person, or they get something different from another person. You'll notice that maybe with your friends, maybe you don't want them all in the same room. I can remember a couple of girlfriends saying, don't invite me to one of your parties, Bob, because I'm so different. I'll probably have them all fighting. Okay, I'll take notice of that. Well, we'll just have afternoon tea together and keep it pleasant. So sometimes that's what that is. Everybody has different people they go to for different needs. Okay, so this one here, surrender your ego. And again, I was noting something the other day, and I thought it was really interesting that when the ego kicks up, it means that you're challenging a pattern of behavior that normally works for you. So I must admit, I'm not that keen on that word ego. It sounds, the way it's been used, it's like it's negative, it's not good. It actually protects you in the sense of, that you think that you're right, you think you're okay, and you think you're pretty cool. And I don't think that's such a bad thing as long as you don't hurt anybody else. It's a matter of, working with it rather than thinking anything is good or bad. Right, we're going to go on to another deck here. Okay, what's this one? So this one is the fox. And of course, the fox loves to explore, very active. A fox is active and they've got an agile mind. They're smart. They're actually generous within their own clan. And of course, they like to plan things. And they also have what you might call creative moves. People often call them cunning, but I think they're just quick. They see uh, a way to get what they need to feed their family. And I know a lot of people that have properties or they have chickens, whatever, they really don't like foxes. I think they're gorgeous. That's just me. I don't have a farm. I'm not trying to protect um, anything, but um, some of the stories about these foxes are absolutely, gorgeous to me. Um, so disclaimer, I'm not a farmer. All right. Let's do one more if we can get one more out of this. What have we got here? Okay, so we've got the goat, and this one is, the goat is sure-footed, like Capricorn, steadfast, friendly, and of course they like to multi-purpose. Sometimes you'll see ones on top of a roof. How the heck did it get there? It likes to achieve its goal. It's this planning. The goat will keep an eye on the prize. So these two cards from the pack seem to be saying, use your intuition, use your smarts, plan plan your goal, and keep your eye on the prize. And you've got other cards there saying, be a service, be kind while you're doing this, and also your visualization. So I feel as though they all sort of fit in. So we've got, there's a winning streak happening here. um, Letting go what doesn't serve you, I think that is so important. Hard to do. There's questions, and I think the world is questioning at the moment what's going to happen next. It really is a bit of a circus. Here is stay in touch and hug where you can. Family and friends, make sure they know that you care about them, that you love them, and that love really is extremely important in the world right now. Visualize your goals. Um, Make sure whatever knowledge you've got, you implement so that you can have the wisdom from what you've got. Have some sort of service to others. Often the people that come on the show, they have jobs where they are dealing with the public, and I think anybody dealing with the public and helping them to choose things, helping them to feel better, helping them to get what they want, super important, and being respectful of their choices. And this one here, um, being a little bit challenged about the way that you think things should be, and taking notice. And these two here are about planning. So I think that reading for everyone is fairly clear the way things need to go. So here we are. We've got the tea leaves here. So let's see what we've got, and then we will be doing our meditation. So just draining the tea leaves here, turning the cup round and round and round. You get to see it before I do. Let's see what's there. Okay, right. So the handle is now, and there seems to be a little bit of space here. Now, it doesn't mean there's nothing in it. It means maybe it's a little bit more of the same. Whatever it is that you're doing, you could be getting up early, going to work. Maybe it's a hard job. Maybe you're in a situation where it's not running smoothly. So there doesn't seem to be a great deal of change. And when you look at those cards too, I think they tie in here. It's about your planning your goals and your steps. And I feel as though that's what this is saying. Like, keep going. Now, when I say keep going, I always feel that it's a little bit like, let's say I was driving from Sydney to Byron Bay, and I've got my goal and I've got my Airbnb, and maybe there's two or three of us in the car and we're really focused. but then we hear that there's a drama at a certain place. Well, I'd be silly to keep going without making an adjustment to a trip or keeping an eye on the information. And I feel that that's what needs to happen in life sometimes. We've got a goal and we got really focused, but keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on the information coming in regards to your goal. Adjusting, tweaking as you're moving along, because things don't always run smoothly, do they? Okay, so what I feel I've got happening in the cover, I don't even see this. This actually looks like somebody running here. All right, this figure is running. So I don't know if anybody is into running, um, but they look as though maybe there's a bit of a competition coming. And all this is suggesting is, and I'm not a trainer, I'm not a runner. I always think if people are running, something must be chasing them. No, I'm only joking. But it looks like they're running, and to come first, it looks like you have to put your head out. So if you've got your head up and you're near the finish line, please put your head in. Now, if it's not a physical run, maybe this is saying that you are getting quicker and quicker towards the finish line, and you need to make sure your head is in the game. So we'll take both of those meanings from this particular thing. I do feel as though there's a legal contract happening here, and this seems to be in the next 3 to 4 months. There's a feather, and often a feather to me is indicating the old way that they used to sign documents. You may also be in a job where there are a lot of contracts. Maybe you're responsible for those. So I feel as though contracts are definitely around. Now I've got the word klaxon in here, and this is like the way they have like a loudspeaker, but it's got that particular shape. So this is something that's going to come across loud and clear. You're going to get some information, and it may be something that you've been looking for. Maybe it's been hidden. Maybe you haven't known about it. Maybe it's something you've not researched yet. But this piece of information is going to come across loud and clear. And again, this is about the 3 month mark. So it can also be that if you are looking at properties, make sure that you are ticking every box. I had a solicitor many, many years ago. Actually, there was a solicitor and one was a conveyancer, and they both missed something. One cost me dearly, and the other one had the potential to cost me dearly. Um, Maybe not their fault, I don't know. But as we get older, I think we get a little bit more savvy. I'm a great believer in doing my own research before I go into anything. And then I feel like I'm up to speed and I know what it is I need to ask. I feel as though it's going to be a prosperous year for quite a few people. And we've got this lovely tree in the bottom here. And this seems to be again, around about the January mark. I know we'd all love to know that it's going to be sooner. Um, but of course, with Christmas coming and holidays and all that sort of thing, I think we seem to be paying out rather than it coming in. Doesn't mean to say it can't, but I just feel as though there's lots of projects here. There's changes coming next year. And if we're savvy and we keep on top of what's happening, it can actually work out well for us if we know what the rules and regulations are. Okay, so I'm moving around here, and there's a flock of birds here. Whether you can see the flock of birds at the top here, and I feel as though um, this is groups coming together. Some of them are not very big, but these, and I think I've mentioned this before, we're finding your tribe, the people that you resonate with, that you feel safe with, that you could really share, and they would support you and understand you. I feel as though this is going to be more and more next year. This is what's happening with people. They're building communities, they're building groups, and enjoying that, because I think for a lot of people, going to work, putting food on the table, making sure the bills are paid, and you get up the next day and you're doing it again, sometimes we forget to have that bit of relaxation to ourselves. And I feel as though that's going to be paramount next year, having this balance. And of course, in January, we do go into globally into a year one. So it's really important that we look at this new way of being, this, what thoughts pop in. And I want you to know two things. Trauma is not in your mind, it's actually in your nervous system. So just humming, and you can feel the vibration, your cheeks and your jaw, helps the vagus nerve, the biggest nerve in the body, to calm down. And so does box breathing, breathing in for 6, holding for 6, and blowing it out for 6. Just those two things, not hard. But if you can do those frequently throughout the day, if you're stressed, that's really going to help you calm down. And then you make better decisions. You get the frontal um, part of the brain more active. The other thing is, if you're aware of Dr. Emoto's work, which was where he took frozen water from a dirty river, froze it, and then it was blessed by a priest, and he took water then. And when he froze it and sliced it, the dirty water looked like mud. It looked awful. After it being blessed and the words cleared over it, it looked like beautiful, beautiful snowdrops. And of course, we are 80%, there seems to be, whether we're 75%, 80%, 85%, 90% water, but we are water, mostly blood, which is liquid, which is in every cell. So whatever words that you are saying, that frequency of those words, those vibrations, are going into your blood and feeding all your major organs. So it's really important that you talk to yourself well. And on that note, I'd love you to settle back. We're going to do the meditation. And just take a deep breath and close your eyes. And as you do that, imagine the white light coming down the back of your neck, across your shoulders, all the way down your spine. And on the next breath, just saying to yourself, I am here. I am here. And letting that white light go all the way down your back into your waist and your hips, your bottom, back of your legs, all the way down to your heels. So there's this sense of feeling grounded. And the white light coming over your face, your eyes closed. Taking another breath, I am here. And letting the jaw drop a little and the tongue relax. The energy going down the throat. And as it comes across the chest, putting one or two hands over the chest on the heart area and giving your heart its own pair of little lungs. And it's so happy to breathe and relax. And as you do that, let that white light go through the rest of the organs, right down over the thighs, the knees, the shins, over the toes. Feeling grounded, relaxed, safe. And this is your time, these few minutes. And in this relaxation, have a sense of yourself going deep inside, deep, deep down, relaxing more and more until you come across your beautiful sanctuary door. And as you get closer, just your frequency, your vibration, your presence, the door opens and you step inside and the door closes. And now you are in this magnificent space and it's yours. It belongs to you. And as you look around, it can be inside, outside, be top of a mountain, on the edge of a beautiful ocean. It can be in a cave. It can be in your favorite room. But just have a little look around. But the common thing that we all have in this room is the healing bed. And right now, I'd like you to walk over to the healing bed, lie down, settle in. It's so comfortable. And you have this feeling of belonging because it's true. It's yours. You do belong. This is where you belong, deep inside. And deep, deep inside, this is where it never changes. You're away from the outside world, the pressures and the demands. And as you relax with your eyes closed on your healing bed, the pink mist comes and it's swirling around you, above you, below you, besides you. And it begins to seep through the body, collecting any cells which no longer work, perhaps are tired, misshapen, can't duplicate, and it scoops it up and replaces it with like beautiful little jiggling cells that are so excited to be part of your journey, part of your immune system, part of your healing tonight. And as that pinkness settles down, on the next breath, I'd like you to listen to these words. I'd like you to think about the many versions of who you've had to be just to survive, and to thank them, to bless them. And for you being the person who sometimes got broke, but you mothered yourself to get rebuilt. And when you look back at old photographs, perhaps you'll see there were things that you were praying for. And maybe you have some of those now. And maybe you were hoping in those early days that someone will give you your dream, and now you realize you're the one that has built your dreams. I want you to notice that you've been growing and healing, hardening, softening, all at once. And as you look back, you suddenly see it. How far you've come, how much you've carried, how many lives you've already lived while raising someone else to feel safe in a world you had to learn to navigate, often alone. I want you to imagine there's a beautiful, soft, pearl white light coming over you, sealing in all the goodness of who you are. It's also like a shield to keep away hurtful words, unrequited love, precious. And on the next breath, I'd like you to stand up and walk towards your sanctuary door, taking one more look around, knowing that you can come back here anytime. It is yours, you belong, it's a sacred, safe space. And as you step through the door and begin to come back to this place where you started, the door closes and you come back feeling relaxed and refreshed, knowing how amazing you are, knowing where you've come from, and that you are unique. Thank you so much for being here. Hello to all the people that will see this later. Have a brilliant week. Look after yourself. And please use the meditation, the sanctuary, as often as you need to use it. I will look forward to seeing you next Monday. Hi, Kerry. So take care. Lots of love to you all. I really do care about you. Look after yourself. Bye bye.